There we go. That's Fuller. Oh, just beating the inside edge there. Chaya Mughal continues to trouble Singapore's batters.
Yeah, pitched up to the new batter. She's looking to play some cross-batted shots. Some drives are coming on the way, but not really on this occasion. Beats the outside edge. She is attacking. I think one more slip would be very interesting.
You know what, Abrar, I agree with you. I just like to see two slips in position. It makes things more interesting. That's full on the leg side. First runs off the bat, and it's going to be a boundary towards the square leg region.
Yes,
Vinu
not
Kumar.
the ball, really. Not the right ball to be bowled.
Absolutely not. That's the second time, in fact, today that Chaya Mughal has overpitched and just delivered a full toss. And that's a great way to round off the third over. 6 for 1, Singapore, after 3. So Vinu Kumar with that all-important boundary off the last delivery of the third over. And it's Ria Basin on strike right now. We saw her eyeing up the leg side just now. There are certainly gaps to be exploited. And we've said this before and we'll say it again. Do not be surprised if Samaira Darnidarka delivers a bouncer right now. Here she comes. That definitely wasn't a bouncer. A thick inside edge to mid-on. No run. Yet another dot ball in this Singapore innings.
There is a lot of gap on the leg side. There's just a deep fine leg in play. And the inside fielder is at mid-on. So a bouncer is not really a good option at this stage, I would say. Because there is no backing up. Maybe if there was a square leg, then that short ball could be exploited.
Here comes Samaira. I'll answer that question in a bit. That's lofted. It's a chance. Ooh, lands in no man's land. And the batters scamper through for a single. We hear some cheers from the dugout as Ria Basin has just gotten off the mark.
Yeah, no timing on that occasion. A shortish cover was in play, just away from that fielder. Would be consider herself very lucky.
Absolutely. And just to answer your question from a minute ago, I think a deep fine leg is the perfect fielder to have in place if you're looking to bowl a bouncer. The batter's going to be rushed. It won't be very easy for them to get it away square of the wicket. They're more likely to hit it fine and in the air. Here we go. That's Fuller. Driven square to Isha Oza. First time we've seen Isha Oza get her hands on the ball today. We're definitely going to see her in action with the bat. She's a top 3 batter and a very, very good off spinner. She definitely did really, really well at the Fairbreak Invitational playing for the Warriors. Perhaps not so much with the bat, but with the ball, incredibly impressive. Here's Samaira Darnidarka. Oh, sharp amount of movement into the right-hander. That's well kept out though. Just nudged into the offside for a dot ball.
Yeah, things are looking good for UAE. They have bowled in the right areas. Samaira's second over has been pretty spot on. She has pitched in the right areas. Hasn't offered any easy scoring opportunities. Vinu Kumar has already one boundary to her name. A very good shot, although the ball was straying down the leg side, but you got to put them away.
That's a big appeal. The umpire, he's unmoved. Perhaps that one just sliding down the leg side. But Samaira Darnidarka getting a couple of low fives just now.
Yes, definitely was a good delivery. Going down the leg side. With the ball coming into the right-hander, it's not easy to play any kind of forced shots like we have seen with the departure of the opener.
Last ball of the over. That's Fuller kept out once again. A familiar story. And that closes out the fourth over. Singapore 7 for 1 after 4. Abrar, is it just me or is there a bit of a breeze blowing past the Kinrara Oval right now?
I'm happy with the breeze blowing, but I don't want any cloud covering because yesterday the match was washed out. So we don't want any interruption to this game today.
No, good call. I do see a lot of large blue areas in the sky though, so it's very encouraging. As here comes Chaya Mughal. That's Fuller, kept out. Oh, good piece of fielding there in the covers. Looks like Kavisha Kumari Igodige, who's cut that off. Yeah, it's a really good piece of fielding there from Kavisha. Much like Isha Oza, a top 3 batter. But every chance we'll see Kavisha Igodige, Tirtha Satish, and Isha Oza in that top 3, in those top 3 positions. But of course, every chance that Chaya Mughal gives other batters a chance to shine today. And yet again, it's an action replay of the first wicket. Chaya Mughal gets yet another wicket, swinging into the right-hander. The stumps, I'm not going to say they go cartwheeling. Let's just keep it simple. The batter has been bowled yet again.
Very good delivery. Similar sort of a wicket. Similar ploy by the skipper Chaya Mughal. And another cross-batted shot. We must say another mistake. This time from Ria Basin. She has to depart scoring 1 of 9 deliveries. At the end of 4.2 overs, Singapore 7 with the loss of 2 wickets now. So we must say that the power play so far has belonged to UAE, who of course after winning the toss decided to have a bowl first and utilizing the power play.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. But we still have 10 deliveries left in the power play. If there's someone who can turn this around, it's Singapore skipper Shafina Mahesh. As you can see on your screens right now, she's striding in at number 4, just exercising those arms. And like she said at the toss, the main goal for Singapore is just batting out their overs. She would have preferred to bowl first.
Jay, from this stage onwards, what do you think is a good score?
For Singapore, I would say they are probably targeting something in the region of 60 runs. Like we said, it's a process for Singapore. Yesterday was their first international fixture for, what, 2.5 or 3 years? So it really is all a process. They're easing their way back into international cricket. Here's Chaya Mughal. Ooh. Yet again, a generous amount of movement into the right-hander and well kept out. We've got mid-on and mid-off up in the circle. In fact, there's only one fielder on the boundary, and that is a third man.
I'm actually very happy with the field set. She has a shortish extra cover as well as a short cover. And now, at this moment, she has a short mid-wicket as well. So the fielders, even the inside circle fielders, are close in.
Absolutely. Just cutting off those angles. Oh, play and a miss this time. That's a big appeal. Oh, Chaya Mughal cannot believe it. She was convinced there was an outside edge on that occasion. And that's just how competitive Chaya Mughal is. You know, at the end of the day, there's very little doubt that the UAE are going to emerge victorious today. But for Chaya Mughal, she wants to cut off, you know, the lifeblood, the lifeline of the opposition as soon as possible. She wants to cut the head off the snake, so to speak. And she wants to dismiss her opposite number, Shafina Mahesh. Here she comes again. That's Fuller, a bit of a thickish inside edge, and it goes straight to that short mid-wicket you were talking about just earlier.
Yes, no easy singles on offer. Chaya Mughal has been spot on. And about the last, the ball before the last ball, I believe there was something there from up here. Looked very good. Looked very good in my opinion. So that actually brought out the big appeal. Umpire denied. However, Shafina Mahesh is yet to get off the mark.
Look at that. Rarely ever errs in line, Chaya Mughal. I believe that was a wicket maiden, if I'm not mistaken. But in any case, Singapore 7 for 2 after 5 overs.
Last over of the power play will come up now. The power play has definitely belonged to UAE at this stage. Just the 7 runs wouldn't have been the problem for Singapore, but the loss of 2 wickets will really trouble the scorers. And at this moment, the skipper Shafina Mahesh will have to take in a lot of responsibility.
And it's First signs of spin today. The tall off-spinner Isha Oza into the attack. Like we said earlier, had a very, very good fair break invitational playing for the Warriors. Not the only UAE player in the fair break invitational. And here she comes. First ball of her spell. What can she do? A high arm action that's been guided away to third man. An easy single. Tirtha Satish there, unable to cut it off.
Yes, soft hands there. That is the key to that shot. Played with very soft hands, guided to the short third man fielder. A tall bowler is Isha Oza. Has a high arm action like you mentioned before. Will want to get some turn.
Bit of a false start there for the off spinner. Isha Oza also an absolute pleasure to talk to. We've only had brief conversations so far in person. But here she comes. Oh, a bit of a thick inside edge. Oh, quick single. This could be suicidal. Oh, a better throw would have had the batter short of her crease. Not to be, however.
That wasn't a direct hit. A direct hit would have been very, very, very interesting. Even in fact, if it could be given to the keeper, I think she would have just made the mess of the stump. But wasn't to be. Very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. That one just getting a bad bounce for the keeper. She'd have to collect it from really, really high. It bounced in front of her. Never easier to collect balls on the half volley. Here we go. Isha Oza. Ooh, that's up in the air. Oh, my word. I don't believe that was a catching chance. It's very hard to take catches diving forward. I think that landed just short of the fielder there at short cover. But once again, Isha Oza creating problems for the batters, making an impact in her very first over. 2 runs off the over so far. 3 deliveries left in the power play. First wicket for Isha Oza. That smacked straight to mid-on. We were talking about it causing a lot of problems for both right-handers at the crease, and she's rewarded for a strong, strong start. It's 9 for 3 now, Singapore, with 2 deliveries left in the power play.
Yes, a 4-shot once again. This time Vinu Kumar was the batter. Had to play that, had to get some runs going, but eventually has to depart. Easy catch there at mid-on. Two more deliveries remaining in this over. Divya is coming out to the middle to join her skipper Shafina Mahesh, who's still there.
Absolutely. Divya GK, the only representative from Singapore at the Fair Break Invitational, where I believe she played for the Spirit. Didn't get much of a chance with the bat at FBI 22, but really, really impressive with her off spinners, often bowling from around the wicket to the right-hander. I'm sure we're going to see a little bit of her in second innings with the ball, but for now, with the bat, she's got a lot of work to do. She's there with current skipper Shafina Mahesh.
UAE are already into the middle order of Singapore lineup now, and you would say that Divya would be one of the key batters at this stage in these circumstances, a handy all-rounder in the middle. But Isha Oza will not make things easy.
That's straight and just defended Isha Oza right on target. And anytime there is a change of bowling, that change bowler has to keep things going. She cannot let momentum be given away to the opposition. That one just sliding or angling away rather with the arm. A really nice way to close out the power play. Just 9 runs off the power play, and Singapore have lost 3 wickets in the process. And with that, the umpire has signaled the end of the power play. It looks like Chaya Mughal is all set to bowl out her 4-over quota.
That is excellent captaincy, I think. Leading from the front, she knows she has picked up the key wickets, and another over, giving herself, she might just pick up another wicket, and we might just be able to, like you mentioned at the start, close in. Beautiful delivery once again, Fuller, but played nicely straight down the ground for a single.
Absolutely. It's great to see Singapore's dugout as well, cheering so loudly for their team. Chants of "Let's go Singapore, let's go. Let's go Singapore, let's go." I love the energy. I absolutely love the energy.
Yes, but
Anytime someone gets off the mark, so it's so great to have that supportive team environment.
yes, with every run, we have never heard the Singapore team quiet. They have been cheering up. Every run being scored. Chaya Mughal coming up with the next delivery. A rare loosener from Chaya Mughal, guided through fine leg region and will be a boundary.
Absolutely. That's the second time we've seen Chaya Mughal bowling full and on the leg stump. And it's the second boundary of the innings as well. This one collected by Shafina Mahesh, the Singapore skipper. Once again, those chants of "Let's go Singapore, let's go." And Singapore certainly, getting a bit of a move on with that boundary. And like we said, anything in the region of 60. If you can score 60 against the best team in the tournament, you're doing a couple of things right.
Much better. Good comeback by the bowler. This time pitched on the off stump. Just played with soft hand straight to cover. Another dot ball. This is what you want to do. Chaya Mughal has 4 more deliveries left in her spell of 4 overs. Should definitely want to close in with another wicket to her name. Similar sort of delivery, full effort there. That wouldn't have been a run anyway, but you can see the intent from the skipper. She wants to throw herself around and stop everything. Does not want to give any runs.
And apologies for my mistake earlier. It was actually Divya GK with that boundary. And she's on strike right now. Shafina Mahesh, the skipper, is at the other end. So my apologies, Abrar. I sort of misled you with that.
That's alright, because another soft dismissal. Is it taken? Yes, it is. What a good catch. Full marks. Samaira is the fielder. Lovely effort there. And the skipper, Chaya Mughal, strikes once again.
You'd love to see it. It's the second time in 2 days a UAE fielder has taken a catch diving forward. The UAE so good at doing the basics, being disciplined with the ball and in the field. Their coach Najib Amar, the former Hong Kong player. I've actually had experience being coached by Najib Amar, so I can speak to the fact that this man certainly knows what he's doing, forms a great combination with Chaya Mughal. The two of them have taken female cricket in the UAE to new heights. Not the only two people responsible for a golden period for UAE women's cricket, but certainly the two up down here in Malaysia who've played a very pivotal role. So with that, we have 1 delivery left in the 7th over, 14 for 4 Singapore. Not ideal. That was a huge partnership for Singapore. Shafina Mahesh and Divya GK. With Divya being dismissed, that has a noticeable impact on, the expected total we were discussing earlier.
Yes, as far as experience is concerned, Divya was the all-rounder, the middle order experience bank, as you'd say. And since the skipper, Shafina Mahesh, is still there, she needed to be there. Soft dismissal. Good looking shot, this one. Driven, but not finding the gap. Brilliant spell of 4 overs by Chaya Mughal. 4 overs, 3 wickets for just 9 runs at the end of 7 overs. Singapore 14 runs with the loss of 4 at the back foot. Completely on back foot now, Singapore. My fellow commentator Jay mentioned that 60 would be a good score, but looks very difficult from here on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 60 will not be very easy to get to from this position. And I have to say, Chaya Mughal, she did stray onto the leg stump twice, but she was trying to get wickets. She was trying to get that sharp amount of movement into the right-hander and mixed it up with deliveries that angled in and, just moved away from the right-hander. So all the right-handers, they were just in 2 minds as well, right? So nothing fancy from Chaya Mughal, but much like Samaira Dharnidarka, using that wrist position to get a sharp amount of movement into each batter that she has bowled to so far today. Isha Oza, the off spinner, continuing.
Isha Oza, on the other hand, has looked to keep things very, very simple. Occasionally, she has flighted the ball. Where is the batter going? Another opportunity was there. Just wanted to take an easy single, but it wasn't on offer. Is safe. Is lucky to be still there. As we were saying, Isha Oza is looking to flight the ball a little bit. Has already picked up a wicket. Trying to reach out for that one. Use of the feet. Change being made. There was an outfielder on square leg. She's calling her in. Has decided against it. Much better from the batter.
Yeah, it's the new batter at the crease, walking in at number 6, Soumya Ratnakar. Yet to get off the mark, but you can be rest assured if she does get off the mark, we're going to hear cheers from that Singapore dugout.
And that's taken. Another soft dismissal. Forced shot. Tried to take that away from the off stump and wanted to pull that on the leg side, but easy catch at the short mid-wicket region. Another wicket for Isha Oza.
Absolutely. 2 wickets now for the off-spinner in this game. That brings her tournament tally up to 3. So the off-spinner tasting more success here at the Kinrara Oval. The second of 2 match days. The second of many match days, I beg your pardon, at the ACC Women's T20 Championship. Just a reminder of what's at stake as well in this tournament. The top 2 from this tournament, in other words, the winning semi-finalists, will qualify for the Asia Cup, where they will face India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. So that's a 7-team event, the Asia Cup. And Singapore getting back to the present moment. Singapore, they've lost half their side. Just 14 runs on the board right now. The UAE, the hot pre-tournament favorites, looking even hotter today. Isha Oza, 2 wickets for her. She closed out the power play, bowling that 6th over. Took a wicket in that over, has taken a wicket in this one as well. And signal from the umpire indicating there's 1 delivery left in the 8th over. 14 for 5, Singapore.
You mentioned 2 teams will be the ones that will qualify for the Asia Cup. So what are your picks?
Smart money says the UAE, right? I feel like the UAE have one of those spots. I'm not going to say guaranteed. There are no guarantees. You've got to show up on the day. You've got to play good cricket, right? But if you're going to put me on the spot, I say the UAE.
Yeah, UAE was the easy one. What about the other one?
I'm going to go for Hong Kong. I'm feeling Hong Kong, certainly. That's flighted.
That is a very, very good delivery. Flighted, Fuller, and just trying to dig that one out. End of a very, very productive over. Isha Oza completes her second. 2 runs considered in her 2 overs and picked up 2 wickets. 8 overs completed, 14 with a loss of 5.
And thank you, Abrar, for putting me on the spot there. I was fumbling my words, trying to think, trying to do my calculations, calculating all these permutations and trying to figure out who can get into the semi-final and win that semi-final and get into the Asia Cup. But of course, Nepal, they've got a lot of really good players who can, help them get into that Asia Cup. A really good bowling effort from Nepal yesterday. Not so convincing with the bat, but in the field with the ball, incredibly impressive. Here's Vaishnavi Mahesh, the leg spinner. A dot ball to kick things off.
Very energetic is Vaishnavi. Starts off very nicely. Leg spin. So this bowling attack in UAE has a lot of variety. We saw 2 similar opening swinging bowlers followed by the off spinner Isha Oza, and now there's a leg spinner in Vaishnavi. So UAE has a very multi-dimensional bowling attack. Flighted delivery this time, pitched up. Not in the most convincing fashion once again. Is safe, but living dangerously here.
Yeah, absolutely. That one, the batter not quite sure whether to go forward or to go back.
Credit where it's due. It's a very good field setup. There's a slip in play, a very attacking packed offside field, as well as a short mid-wicket fielder. And even though the power play is done and the fielding restriction is lifted, all the fielders are inside the 30th circle. That is fantastic captaincy. Flighted delivery, played down the ground. Mid-on coming on and drops a sitter. She is going to get a lot of hearing from Chaya Mughal later on. We can say that.
But, you know, it's so great to see the team spirit. Two of her teammates, Tirtha Satish's teammates, running up to her, giving her low fives, telling her, hey, that can happen to anyone. Vaishnavi Mahesh, yet again.
Yes, but regardless of that, should have been taken. You gotta take this. It is the batter, the experienced campaigner Shafina Mahesh. UAE wants to close this match early, and Shafina Mahesh is the key because she's, of course, trying to lead from the front. What a shot! Smashed to the offside this time. Glorious looking shot. Rolls away all along the ground. First boundary.
And that brings the 9th over to a close. 19 for 5 Singapore. Abrar, I gotta tell you, that was definitely the shot of the day so far.
Yes, you gotta capitalize whenever a loose ball is presented, which has been rare by the UAE bowlers. And once it's done, you gotta put them away. And if you can put them away in such glorious fashion, it is very eye-pleasing. And that is why the crowd is cheering. The Singapore dugout has found their voices.
I'd argue they've never lost their voices, the Singapore dugout.
Another quick single taken. Runs has finally started to look like they are coming.
I gotta say, the body language from both teams, the attitude from both teams, it's very refreshing. Like with that drop catch just now, nobody drops a catch on purpose.
Beautiful delivery once again. Missing the stump, missing everything. Keeper did well. Yeah, nobody drops a catch on purpose. But sometimes, in difficult situations, catches win matches, as we often hear the phrase. Put up in the air. Another drop catch. Point was nicely underneath that one. This is not really the standards that UAE sets in the field. Should be taking these.
Absolutely. We'll try and get confirmation on who that fielder was. It might be Sachin Singh. I'm just a little bit blinded. That fielder in one of my blind spots right now. That's turned away on the leg side. The signal from the umpire is wide. So that one not clipping the pad of the right-hander.
Yeah, difficult take for Priyanjali Jain, but a good one. A very energetic keeper. Has been doing well for UAE so far.
Oh, brilliant. A faster delivery. Flatter, faster, fuller, and beats the right-hander on her outside edge. You'd love to see that from the off-spinner.
Yes, almost picked up a wicket there. And up in the air once again. This time it's dropped again. 3 drop catches in a quick succession. What is happening out there? Isha Oza is robbed of 3 wickets.
Yeah, I believe that's 3 drop catches in the last 6 balls. So the UAE, we've said it before, we'll say it again. They set very high standards for themselves. That's a big appeal. That's a very loud appeal, a persistent one.
And it's given! Brilliant appeal, you must say. Isha Oza continued the appeal for around 7 seconds and umpire has given it. That is how much an exertion can do. Brilliant! This is outrageous.
Oh my god, Isha Oza, you've got to work in sales. My word, I don't even own a car and she could sell me automobile insurance. That was incredibly convincing, that appeal.
Today, Isha Oza can sell anything. If you ask me, she can sell anything.
Oh, that was brilliant. 3rd wicket for Isha Oza. You gotta love it. And, I mean, for Singapore, it's not such great news. They lost 6 wickets at the halfway mark. 23 for 6 after 10 overs as we take a small break for drinks.
The drinks breaks are done. Halfway stage, 23 with a loss of 6. About the last over, many things were happening. 3 drop catches and then an outrageous appeal from Isha Oza, and eventually getting rid of the batsman. Tirtha Satish is back, the leg spinner. Flighted delivery, almost carrying to the slip. Hands around the waist. Couple of runs are taken, and it has actually rolled all the way to the boundary. Doesn't matter how they come, a boundary will definitely lift the spirits of Singapore team. Brings out the chant, let's go Singapore. We can hear them from the comm box. Back top side field, everyone inside the circle. Another flighted delivery, and this time taken. What a catch! What a catch at slip! Success for Tirtha Satish, beautifully bowled. And Chaturani has to depart. Shafina Mahesh is still out there. She's batting on 9 of 16. Adab Haseen is walked out to the middle to accompany her. Tirtha Satish, the leg spinner, has picked up a wicket. But credit to the slip fielder, beautiful catch. Diving to her right, taken that ball very low. And UAE on the driving foot. Having a go at that one outside off stump, missing it completely. Another dot ball. The shortish cover has come even closer now. There's also a catching mid-wicket. Not giving anything away. Flighted delivery. Another play and a miss. Another dot ball. Just to clue the ones who have joined us now, a stunning catch was taken a few deliveries before at slip. Other than Samara, everyone has been among the wickets. Eleven overs are completed. Singapore 27 with a loss of 7 wickets now.
Yes, absolutely. 9 overs left now in this innings. And we've spoken about it earlier as well. Singapore, they will be looking to bat out their overs. A score of 60 that we identified earlier might be a little tricky to reach in this situation. The important thing is the batters are spending some time out in the middle. Here's Isha Oza, that high arm action going on with the arm and beating the outside edge of the right-hander.
Just the very last delivery, there was a beautiful catch taken at the slip cordon. And now for Isha Oza, the slip has been removed, so interesting. For her, there's a deep square leg in play. With the way the bowlers are bowling, I don't think the square leg is anywhere necessary at this stage. Attacking should be the way to go. Ishita Shukla and Adab Haseen are the two batters in the middle. Both have yet to open their account.
Yes, absolutely. And Isha Oza into her last over. She's got 3 deliveries left in what's been a very successful spell so far.
Yes, she just about considered nothing really. 3 over 4 deliveries, just conceded 6 runs and 3 wickets. That is astonishing figures. Will want to close in nicely just like her skipper did. Chaya Mughal on her last over picked up a wicket. This is almost test match field. Almost. Catching mid-wicket and a short cover. They just keep coming closer and closer to the batter.
Yep, it's a 5-4 offside field. Last ball of Isha Oza's spell, and it's going to be a familiar dot ball to close things out. I believe that might have been actually a maiden over, so 27 for 7, Singapore after 12. Look at Vaishnavi Mahesh there, giving that ball a rip. Alda Basan just getting ready to take strike.
Vaishnavi Mahesh was fantastic in the last over. Flighted delivery, pitched on off stump, picked up the outside edge. Similar sort of delivery, almost carrying to the fielder, but not really found the gap. Dot ball. Exciting prospect is Vaishnavi Mahesh, always trying to flight that ball. Now the lovely delivery. It has been very tough going for Singapore. The top order not really among the runs, and that is why a lot of pressure now on this lower order. But the timing has been actually much better from these batters down the order. They have presented the full face of the bat.
Things get easier as well when the new ball is kind of blunted. Ooh, wrong-footed there, the batter.
Yes, trying to guide that through the backward point region. Missing that one completely. Happy to bowl the leg break. We haven't seen any googly from Vaishnavi Mahesh. Adavasin yet to go off mark. And that's taken. Well deserved. Straightforward catch. Adavasin has to depart. Another wicket maiden. This time from Vaishnavi Mahesh.
Yes, second wicket for the leg spinner. So impressive. And that iconic action as well, coming from wide of the crease. Yeah, it looks like the players are just having a drink right now. For a minute, it almost looked as if they were getting ready to walk off the field. I said, are they walking off because it's too hot?
Just a reminder, 2 more wickets remaining. Someone has to tell them.
We've all heard of rain delays. Perhaps this is a heat delay. But no.
Doesn't happen much in the subcontinent. Maybe somewhere else around the globe.
See, at the end of the day, 27 for 8. Not ideal here for Singapore. But they're getting that experience, they're getting that exposure. Losing, of course, yesterday to neighbours Malaysia. Malaysia getting off to a really good start. Half centuries for Winnie Duraisingam and Mazalisa in that game. 2 very contrasting innings. Winnie Duraisingam, the glue that held the innings together. Mazalisa putting up a very 100-plus partnership between the two of them. And Mazalisa definitely the more aggressive of the two partners. So never easy for anyone bowling to that duo, Winnie D and Mazalisa. But yes, Singapore at 27 for 8 after 13 overs. They'll be looking to bat out their overs. It won't be very easy. We have another change in bowling. Oh, a play and a miss there, and that change of bowling is Suraksha Kote. She's into the attack.
Another change in the bowling. Suraksha started off with a little bit of a loosener, has to get that consistent line and length right. Similar sort of field, catching extra cover and a short mid wicket.
That's faster, pumped down the ground. She cuts that off, gets a bit of a hand on it, which slows the delivery up. So good start yet again. Another UAE bowler makes yet another confident start at the bowling crease. Smashed. Doesn't get it off the middle. Bit of a toe edge on that one. Goes back to the bowler. Yet another dot ball.
I think a 4 shot is on the way. They have to hold the nerve. But very good delivery on this occasion. Just missed the stump.
It's interesting here from Suraksha Kote. She's got a very round arm action, the off spinner. So she's not going to get a sharp amount of turn into the right-hander. I wonder if you can just sort of play her like a medium pacer. That's been punched into the offside. And that should be first runs for the batter there. I believe that's Ishita Shukla getting off the mark.
The first run actually came after 2 maiden overs. So Singapore will be very happy. They have once again started chanting. Every run so far has been cheered for. Credit for that. They have kept the spirits high.
Yes, absolutely. And with the conclusion of that over, the 14th over, 28 for 8, Singapore. Leg spinner Vaishnavi Mahesh not giving the commentators too much of a break between overs. The UAE getting through their overs very, very quickly. As here comes the leg spinner. She's into her 3rd over, if my math is any good. Flighted and defended with a dead bat.
Vaishnavi Mahesh has been very excited to be looked at from here in the com box. Very often we've seen her flighting that ball. We haven't seen the googly, but it has worked well. The leg spin has worked very well for her. She has picked up 2 wickets. This is her last over.
That one just left alone. I'd probably do the same if I was the right-hander there. Don't want to be flirting outside the off stump if you're not to the pitch of the ball. Vaishnavi Mahesh. I'm just getting tongue-tied there. That's flighted. And just pushed straight back to the bowler. It's been a really good spell. She's given the ball some air. She's shortened her length up as well. A couple of faster ones as well, just fired in. Nothing too fancy from the leg spinner. That's flatter, like we were talking about. And nudged into the leg side for a dot ball.
Ishita Shukla has looked good, even though she's not among the runs. 14 balls, she has 15 balls now she has played for just the 1 run, but she has played the ball with the full face every single time. Just 2 wickets remaining in this innings.
A straighter one there from the leg spinner. Like we said, just mixing it up really, really well. Nothing too fancy. But I love how she's changed up her trajectory as well. Here we go. Last ball of Vaishnavi Mahesh's spell. It is squeezed out to backward point. No run on offer for Singapore. 5 overs left after 15. It's 28 for 8. Abrar, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you're Singapore at this point, what is your game plan?
If I would be in the shoes of the Singapore lineup, I would just want to play out the 20 overs and gain that exposure and that experience. The 2 batters at this time in the middle, Ishita and Jay Huatan, both would want to carry this forward, would not want the tail-enders to come into bat. I would be happy to just defend my way out. Forget about the runs. Just keep value to the wicket.
Here we go, Suraksha Kote. A bit of spin away from the left hand on that occasion. And that's interesting with a round arm action for an off spinner. Against the right-hander, you're not going to get too much turn into the right-hander. With the left-hander, it is a different proposition altogether. Ooh, that's in the air and that's taken!
I would say that is the catch of the day, but I have seen one better. But nevertheless, that has been a fantastic effort. Another wicket falls. Jay Wharton has to depart. Second ball duck for her. And Singapore, 28 runs with a loss of 9 now. Deep trouble for them.
Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. Deep trouble. The writing's sort of on the wall here for Singapore. Just 1 wicket left in the bank. And one thing I just noticed about that wicket, the off-spinner Suraksha Kote, well, that was not an off-spinner she bowled just now. It looked like she experimented a little bit and that one just came into the left-hander.
Yeah, also a change in the line for her. She was targeting the off stump. This one was more leg stump, middle and leg. And the short mid-wicket fielder was rightly placed there. Fantastic captaincy as we have seen so far throughout the day from Chaya Mughal. Extremely aggressive. Putting Singapore on a very difficult situation. Never allowed any runs.
That's really the Chaya Mughal brand of captaincy. Get your fielders in and back your bowlers. Don't give the opposition anything. Once you've got your foot on the throat of the opposition, you do not take it off. That's the Chaya Mughal brand of captaincy. We see it day in and day out. Well, not day in and day out. Match day in and match day out.
As we speak, another just somehow missed out on that one. Suraksha has been brilliant as well. All of the UAE bowlers after winning the toss has been contributing for the skipper Chaya Mughal.
That's just pushed to backward point there.
Yes, an optimistic appeal to follow that up. There was bad involved. No way umpire was going to give that out.
Joanna Purnakaran, she gets off the mark. That's pushed into the offside. Should just be a single. And yes, that's cut off by Kavisha Kumari Igodige. Kavisha Kumari, of course, that iconic hairstyle, has the longest hair out of anyone in this tournament. Stretching down almost all the way to her waist. A very iconic look.
I have a question actually just come up to my mind. You were observing all the players' hair?
Mate, I just notice some very weird things sometimes. I'm a very observant person. My sense perceptions are always turned on.
Nothing can really escape from the eyes of my fellow commentator Jay. Pitched it fuller this time. Soft hands. Another dot ball.
I also know a lot of random things, Abrar. Did you know that hippopotamus milk is pink?
I have no interest in hippopotamus and the color of the milk, but I've never heard of milk being pink.
I know a lot of random things. You know what the capital of Honduras is?
I'm not sure.
It's Tegucigalpa.
I don't think I can even pronounce that. Even though I just heard it, I don't think I can pronounce that. Say it again.
Tegucigalpa.
Not my cup of tea. I'll just leave that alone.
You've got a brief and slightly scary insight into the mind of Jay Dansgani. We have a change of bowling. Khushi Sharma into the attack, looking for that final wicket. Khushi Sharma, of course, was the top wicket taker at the ICC T20 World Cup Asia qualifier played last year in November. Incredibly impressive. Khushi Sharma throughout that tournament. It's good to see her get a bowl today.
Yeah, she has come in a bit late in the order. Has to clear the tail. Looking to bowl full Yorker line almost. Cramp for room. Another dot ball.
Yes, no doubt. A bit of an uphill battle here for Singapore. Like we've talked about, they will be looking to bat out their full 20 overs. Khushi Sharma. That's fuller and left alone on this occasion.
Yeah, was getting a bit of shape there. But I believe just pitch it full, get the LBW into play. This is the tail ender we're talking about. So maybe a full and straight delivery can get the better of the batter.
That's pushed to a short mid-wicket. A familiar result, yet another dot ball. But for Joanna, she got off the mark in the last over. It's just about feeling that bat on ball. If you can get a score, maybe get up to 10 runs, you can push your way up the order. She walked in at 11. I don't think she wants to keep coming in at 11. Ooh, a play and a miss, a big appeal. That's definitely got to be the most optimistic appeal of the day so far.
I think we've seen one which actually got a wicket. That is the sort of optimism one should be and have in their life. That appeal was for 6 to 7 seconds from Isha Oza, and eventually she got the wicket. So why not appeal?
Here we go. That's pushed into the offside. And speaking of Isha Oza, she cleans up there in the circle. Another dot ball to close out the 17th over. And I believe it still remains 29 for 9.
Yes, maiden over from Kochi Sharma. 3 more overs remaining in this innings. Hopefully Singapore will play that and keep the wickets intact. This is the last wicket, the last pair in between the crease now.
So Raksha Kote, that round arm action pushed straight to short cover. So she continues to keep it tight.
And that's it. Cleaned her up. The last wicket falls.
Yes, absolutely. 29 all out. That's the final total for Singapore. So in the chase, UAE will require 30 runs for victory, and they want that net run rate boost. Yesterday, of course, a game against Oman was rained out. They want that net run rate boost to kind of shield them from any other potential weather-related disruptions throughout the tournament. And it's been a near flawless display from Chaya Mughal and her team so far today. 29 all-out Singapore.
Yes, exceptional display of bowling. Lead from the front by Chaya Mughal. Isha Oza contributed brilliantly with the ball. And there was the leg spinner, Vaishnavi Mahesh, who also was among the wickets. Extremely good all-round bowling performance. They look back at the catching a little bit. But other than that, some of the catches they took were fantastic. But the few drop catches, they don't want that to be there because they are par excellence. Extremely well led by Chaya Mughal. Singapore, on the other hand, has a lot of issues to consider. 29 with the loss of 10, all out in 17.2 overs. That being said, we can take a short break for this innings. After that, we'll come back with UAE's batting, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to the second innings of the UAE versus Singapore. If you're just joining us, the UAE, they won the toss and decided to bowl first. They restricted Singapore to 29. So a target of 30 to chase for the UAE. Isha Oza and Tirtha Satish walking out to open the batting. Abrar, if you're Singapore right now, what is your game plan? How do you get those early breakthroughs?
Just attack from the moment of the first ball. I think that is the way to go. It doesn't matter, the game is not over until it's over, but it doesn't matter really. You have to pick some early wickets and boost the morale of your own team, because let's be honest, 30 runs is the target and it should be a very comfortable chase. So that being said, wickets are only the way by which Singapore can feel comfortable and feel motivated enough for the next game onwards. From an analytical point of view, I think, how long do you think it should require UAE to chase this total?
The UAE, no doubt, will be hoping to chase this as soon as possible, perhaps by the fourth over. I think that's a realistic target with these two at the crease. But hey, then again, we're talking about the UAE here. They might even attempt to chase this down inside 3 overs.
3 overs, I think if they chase it down, it would be still a very good show, because it has been a one-sided show from the very first ball. Spin to begin, off spin coming round the wicket, inside edge, no harm done, dot ball, but intent is there.
Yeah, but former skipper Divya GK, the off-spinner, like we talked about earlier in the broadcast, she loves bowling around the wicket to the right-hander. It's something she did throughout the Fair Break Invitational. And she'll be hoping to keep up those tight lines and make things as hard as possible for Isha Oza, who's on strike right now. That's Fuller and nudged away into the offside. It's going to be a dot ball.
A very good ball so far by Divya DK. Divya GK has been the all-rounder to look up to for Singapore. She was not among the runs today, but definitely want to contribute with the ball in hand.
Yeah, no doubt. Singapore's top T20I run scorer. In their brief history, that's smacked away into the leg side. That should find the rope, and yes, it does. So Isha Oza into the action straight away, finding that gap, the mid-wicket boundary, a bump of the bats from Tirtha Satish and Isha Oza. A really good start here from the UAE.
Yes, a bit predictable from Divya. She was pitching out on the same length for the third time, and this time the batter was ready and was dispatched. Even though there was a deep mid-wicket fielder, managed to find the gap due to the sheer power.
Yeah, and you could see that as well. Isha Oza just opening up her stance as well. Not a very squarish stance. And yet again, you can see a bit of an open stance. She knows exactly where Divya GK plans to bowl it. She tries to go back and push it away through the offside, but she plays and misses. A good piece of bowling there from Divya GK.
Yes, as indicated by Isha Oza, the ball kept slightly lower than she anticipated. It's a packed offside field. The protection is at long on and deep mid-wicket.
That's flatter and smashed down the ground. Just a single. It looks like Shafina Mahesh, the captain, cleaning up there. And wow, it really raced down to long on, didn't it?
Yes, I believe that the straight boundary is a bit shorter. I think the longest boundary here is the mid-wicket region. Left hand on strike, change in the field. Rather, adjustment to the field. It's always good to have a left hand, right hand combination at the top. The bowler needs to adjust quickly.
I like this field as well. Tirtha Satish, she loves hitting to the leg side. So Shafina Mahesh, she's down there at long on. Usually you'd assume with the ball spinning away from the left-hander, you'd have a long off in position. But I think it's safe to assume that Shafina Mahesh has done her research on Tirtha Satish. There's a lot of footage there that features the left-hander. She, of course, featured at the Fairbreak Invitational as well. Here's Divya GK to the left-hander. That's a full toss, and Shafina Mahesh. Oh, a slight misfield. And it looked like she kind of slipped as well there on the outfield. Unlucky there, bit of I guess a little bit of moisture from all the rain we've had in the last couple of days. So not easy there. Perhaps not wearing the right spikes either there. The Singaporean captain makes a good recovery though.
Yes, hopefully she hasn't hurt herself. Good start for UAE. 6 runs in the first over.
Apologies, 7 for no loss.
Yes, because of the misfield.
We were just so preoccupied making sure that Shafina Mahesh was all right. Anytime, you slip on the outfield, there's always that concern. Are you twisting a knee? Are you twisting an ankle? So it's good to know that she's okay. She's up on her feet, ready to lead her side and hopefully try and figure out a way to get an early breakthrough or two, make things hard for UAE in this chase of 30.
Yes, Ada Bashin is coming from the far end. Seam replacing spin. Very good shape to start off. Appeal there. Optimistic.
Ishos are just playing inside that one. That one just about within those wide parameters that you see on your screen right now. Ada Basin, I saw her warming up. I was quite impressed by what I saw. A little wrong-footed there, an inside edge. That one goes down to fine leg and they pick up a single. But yes, Ada Basin, she bowls off the wrong foot a little bit, but I was impressed with what I saw of her in the warm-ups. I, of course, was at the UKM Oval yesterday, so I did not watch Singapore's game in person. So yes, a pleasure to be commentating on my first ever Singapore women's fixture. Of course, leading into the tournament, us commentators, we do our research, we check those scorecards. If they're highlights, we watch those highlights, try and get as much intel as possible, conversations with support staff, players, and captains at the team hotel, on the team bus, anything. Whenever you can pick someone's brain, do it. I think that's what I love about this job as well, like bringing more information about associate teams to the world. And once you create those stories, you have those storylines, you know your characters, it makes it a lot more interesting. The more you know about associate cricket, the more fun it is to follow. Ooh, Ada Basin just drifting down the leg side, the umpire getting a little bit of exercise. A bonus run for the UAE.
Just would have been a very good ball to the right-hander. That being said, if you're so preoccupied with cricket and all, when do you get the time to find out about hippopotamus milk?
Mate, I don't know. This knowledge sort of just comes to me. The universe delivers all sorts of wisdom to Jay Dancing Honey. But I do like this angle here from the right arm seamer. Cutting down that angle to Tirtha Satish, cramping her for room. On her legs. Ooh, Tirtha, she'll be slightly disappointed with that. She could have put that away. It's a 5-4 offside field.
I think Singapore is doing a good job with the ball in hand. Both the opening bowlers have kept it relatively consistent. Just the one boundary from a loose ball of Divya GK that was pushed away through the mid-wicket region for a boundary. Since then, Ada Bashin has kept things very quiet, has a very good run-up.
That's guided away by Isha Oza. That's gonna beat the short third man and run away for her second boundary of the innings. It's also the UAE's second boundary of the innings. Their score rattles on to 14 for no loss. We still have 2 deliveries left in the second over.
Yes, that shot from Tirtha Satish was all about class and timing. A bit late on that occasion, allowed the ball to come nicely onto the bat. had ample amount of time to guide that and find precisely the gap. Very good looking shot.
Yes, absolutely. And as we say that, look at that sky, Abrar. Absolutely beautiful. Insta influencers, get your cameras out, get those hashtags ready.
Beautiful comeback by the bowler this time. Adab Bashir attacking the off stump. Respectfully defended.
And speaking of social media, if you want to help grow associate cricket and women's cricket, the best thing you can do right now, share the link of this match or the other match with your friends, whether it's through WhatsApp, through Twitter, through Facebook, anything, whatever you use. Every little tweet, every little share counts. So get tweeting and show your support for associate cricket and women's cricket. That's down the leg side, whipped away to short fine leg. Ooh, that's not a good enough throw. But that's okay, just getting a little stuck in the hand there.
Yes, just wanted to let go of the ball too quickly. That was straying down the leg side, wanted to put that away through the fine leg region, but not being able to find the gap on this occasion. I'm very impressed with the way Aisha Bhasin has run in and delivered so far. She's been a bit expensive, 8 runs conceded in her first over, but nevertheless, she has done a good job, I think. Very athletic run up, and I think she's so far been the quickest, in my opinion.
You might be right about that. In fact, no. I'm gonna say a resounding no. Samaya Darka, certainly the fastest of all the bowlers we've seen to date. I guess Adab Bhasin has been the fastest Singaporean bowler so far in the first
She's
2
been
overs.
the only fast bowler here. Just from what I have seen, I felt that Adab Bhasin has run in and has a very good action. I just felt she might just be quicker, but it doesn't matter about the pace. You just have to get the wickets, and neither of them has wickets. What a shot this time! Smashed through the leg side, to the vacant mid-wicket region, races away to the fence.
Absolutely. Third boundary on the leg side for Isha Oza, and third boundary in total. Her score is now 15 off 11 balls. This is a lightning start for the UAE. They only need 11 more runs to win. So the innings has just begun, but the countdown has begun as well.
Aisha Oza is on a mission here. She's done her job with the ball and now fascinating with the bat. Right up the order, attacking the Singaporean bowlers.
You know, it's interesting. We spoke about this earlier, how Chaya Mughal might want to give other batters in the batting order a bit of a chance to, I wouldn't say bump up their averages, but get some time out in the middle. Here's Shafina Mahesh, the new bowler, into the leg side yet again. Is this going to carry the distance?
That has gone all the way. What a shot. Sheer timing on that occasion. Aisha Oza, sensational batting here.
Absolutely. Not trying to overhit that ball at all. Just a smooth swing of the bat. Got it pretty close off the middle, and it sailed over the boundary there at Cow Corner. So first 6 of the day. And no surprises that it's Isha Oza who struck that over the boundary. The countdown has begun. 5 runs required for victory for the UAE.
Yes, a small total on the board, but Aisha Oza batting with a strike rate of 175. 3 boundaries and a 6 to her name already. Will she finish it with a glory shot?
Here we go. Pressure on Singaporean skipper Shafina Mahesh. That's wide and it's smashed over the offside. 4 runs. Scores are level right now. Isha Oza finding that gap between extra cover and mid-off. Going over the top, rather.
Yes, not shying away, definitely. Shafina Mahesh bowled it fuller and did not shy away from putting that over the top of extra cover. Confident shot from Aisha Oza. And now the scores are tied. Just 1 run required. We want Aisha Oza to finish on a high. She's already got 25 in this small total. All by herself. Domination from Aisha.
And Abrar, I think you said it just a moment ago. Will she go for the glory shot? I don't think she's just going to try and bunt a single. A lot of open spaces on the leg side. Is she going to go for the boundary? Yes, she is,
yes.
And she nails it through the covers.
Smash.
A resounding 10-wicket victory for the UAE. Like we said, they chased that total down inside 3 overs, 2 deliveries left in the third over. Isha Oza, she finishes on a very handy 29 off 14, unbeaten. Also unbeaten at the other end, Tirtha Satish, 3 off 2. Singapore, their batters got some time out in the middle, but at the end of the day, it's never easy bowling to Isha Oza. Not a single UAE bowler put a foot wrong today. I've been one of your 2 commentators for the day, Jay Dansinghani. I'm going to hand you over to my friend, Mr. Abrar, to close things out just before we have a player of the match ceremony.
Yes, winning the toss, UAE had decided to have a bowl first. They all contributed beautifully with the ball. Chaya Mughal led from the front, absolutely sensational with the new ball, followed by the spinners. Isha Oza did fantastic with her off spin, as well as Tirtha Satish and Vaishnavi Mahesh. They were sensational with the ball as well, contributing in each of their role. The fielding was spot on as well. A few drop catches here and there. The target for Singapore was only 29. And then when UAE comes out to bat, Isha Oza goes all guns blazing, 29 all by herself. That is equaling Singapore. And just a little bit of contribution from Tirtha Satish, 3 of 2. Isha Oza batted with a strike rate of 207. Absolute carnage. And now the team coming out victorious is UAE. They have chased this total comfortably in just 2.4 overs. That is it from the Combox here. Join us shortly for the post-match presentation. Joining us for the post-match presentation now. UAE have come out victorious. So shortly, there will be the post-match presentation ceremony. Please join us shortly.
Okay, let's do a brief of the match today. The match between UAE and Singapore, toss won by UAE and they decided to bowl. Singapore were 29 all out in 17.2 overs. We had Chaya Mughal, who's taken 3 for 9. Resha Oza, who has taken 3 for 6. And Vaishnavi and Shuraksha, who has taken 2 wickets each. In reply, UAE had scored 33 for no loss in 2.4 overs, winning by 10 wickets. I will leave it to the presentation there to announce the player of the match.
Thank you so much, match referee Ramesh Menon there. He will be presenting the award to the player of the match. Like he said, a lot of fine performances today, but at the end of the day there could only be one winner, and that winner was Isha Oza. Isha, if you could just step to the mic over there. A really good all-round performance. You kicked it off with a spell of 3 for 6 with the ball. Did you have any specific game plan going into that first innings?
I think we just wanted to keep it simple, just keep on bowling at the stumps. Like our plan was to bowl on the stumps, then whatever the batter does, it's upon them. Like if they miss, that's our wicket. If they go, and I think all of our bowlers, not only us, fielders backed us all bowlers, whoever came on to bowl, bowled well. So we had a good outing as a team today.
Absolutely, it was a really disciplined performance. And of course you featured at the Fairbreak Invitational as well, and you were very impressive at the Invitational as well. Being in that professional environment, that exposure to full member players, what sort of effect has that had on your game?
I think I've learned quite a bit out of that, and I'm happy that I'm able to share it with all of those in the team. We had 4 players playing the Fairbreak, and out of 11, if 4 of them have played at that level, you can see what difference it can make to the entire team. We're just raising our standards. The under-19s, they learned quite a bit out of that as well. They got to be net bowlers, and I think you can see it in the performance that we're showing on the field, that yes, we are trying our best to take us to the next level.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Isha Oza, and congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
I'd now like to invite the captain who finished second, Singapore's Shafina Mahesh. If you could join me up here. Shafina, of course, not an ideal result, but we spoke about this at the toss. It's a process. So what do you make of, Singapore's performance today?
The young girls had a lot of experience today playing with UAE, and I'm sure they've learned a lot, and it's a learning point for us, especially playing with a higher ranking team. So from all of us, we're just going to learn and keep on learning and improve our game subsequently. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I guess you've kind of answered my next question, but what are your goals going forward in this tournament?
Again, improving ourselves every game, fielding, bowling and batting, so kind of answered the previous question, but yeah.
No worries at all. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you so much.
And now, of course, I'd like to invite up the winning captain, the UAE's Chaya Mughal. Chaya, we have to stop meeting like this. I'm running out of questions to ask you. But a really good victory, 10-wicket victory today. What is your assessment of the team's performance?
This is something that we expect from them, and they're giving their best. It's like nothing new for us, because we are trying to raise our standard up to that thing. So yes, this is something that we wanted them to do, and they have performed well. So yes, from here onwards, we just don't look back. We move on from this game onwards.
Absolutely. And, I hate to ask you the tricky questions, but a few drop catches in that first innings. Is this just one of these things that happen, or is it something you're going to look at and try to work on?
No, it's like we plan it like we don't take easy catches, we take the difficult ones. So that's for the other team to just think about, don't give easy catches, give us the difficult ones.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chaya, and best of luck for the rest of the tournament. So there you have it, the summary of day 2, a 10-wicket victory in the morning at the Kinrara Oval from the UAE. Do join us for the afternoon game kicking off shortly.